All right, answering more of your questions on overcoming isometrics. Today's question is, how would I go about programming overcoming isometric exercises? Once again, I go over this stuff in much more detail in my new book, Overcoming Isometrics. Link is down below if you want to check that out. But here's the general gist that I recommend. Programming with overcoming isometrics is no different than dynamic exercise because the exact same principles apply. You're just using a different vehicle to travel the same route. So we have sets, we have reps, but it's not so much reps, it's for time. And when you do dynamic exercise, that's what reps really are, it's a timing feature. So if you do from 5 repetitions and you increase to 10, you've doubled your time under tension. So it's the same thing with overcoming isometrics. The way I like to think about it is that a 10 to 15 second isometric is kind of in that mid-range of like 8 to 12 reps. Okay, so if you're going lower than that, it's more strength. Higher than that, 30 seconds or so, 20 seconds. Some people have even said they hold things for a minute, which is crazy. Then that's more endurance. But keep in mind that one of the unique things about overcoming isometrics is you don't have to make the trade-off of dynamic training. With dynamic stuff, it's either lightweight, high rep, or high weight, low rep. But with dynamic, you can start high amount of tension, and as your muscles fatigue, the amount of resistance and force is always matched. So you can get both high resistance and higher volume in the same set. When it comes to putting it into a workout, there's 3 strategies I recommend. One is the warm-up strategy. So you do 1 or 2 warm-up sets of isometric hold that fires up your muscles, gets them engaged, and then you can go into your dynamic training. This is what I recommend if you're using grind-style calisthenics, where you use the isometric for the tension phase, then you have your stability phase, grind phase, and hypertrophy phase afterwards. Overcoming isometrics are also a great finisher. So you do your normal workout, however you normally do it, and then you have 1 or 2 sets of whatever type of isometric for as close as you can get to the exercise you were doing. And then the third strategy, and this is one of my favorites, is supersetting and integrating isometrics with dynamics. And this is a really good thing to do, especially if you're kind of having one of those flat workout days and you're just can't get in the groove. I just can't make myself work hard enough. What do? You do an isometric, and then you do the dynamic variant of that isometric and vice versa, and you're gonna find it's a hell of a lot easier to get a good muscle pump and make your muscles work a hell of a lot harder. For that, holding for about 10 seconds, then you go right into your dynamic exercise, maybe shake out the muscles a little bit, then you rest after the dynamic, and then you go and you repeat the sets as you would. But overall, I don't think you can really mess this one up. Great thing about overcoming isometrics is they're so efficient and they're not really intrusive into your performance all that much. So experiment with it, play with it. It's really hard to get wrong and really kind of mess it up. Again, if you want to learn more, check out my book, Overcoming Isometrics. Thoughts and questions down below. Thanks again. Be fit, live free.